Good morning, third graders. We are going to be doing lesson 12 in chapter 6. Operation Patterns is the title of the chapter. Let me see if I can straighten this board out a little. Looks like it's a little cockeyed. There we go. Alrighty, so what that means, operation pattern means when you're given a set of numbers that are separated by commas here, and they're asking you what number comes next. They want you to look at the numbers that they give you and figure out if there's a pattern there and what the pattern is. So you need to think to yourself, what do I have to do to 27 in order to get it to become a 9? What operation do I need to do? Do I add something to 27 to get it a 9? Do I subtract something? Do I multiply something? Or do I divide something? Now, I'm going from a bigger number to a smaller number, which means it's either subtraction or repeated subtraction because the number's getting smaller. So either I have to subtract something from 27 to get 9, or I have to divide 27 by something to get 9. I think I'm going to divide. And what do I have to divide 27 by to get 9? What 27 divided by what will give you 9? 3. So divide by 3. Now, in order for this to be a rule or a pattern, it has to happen again. So let's look at the next two numbers, 9 to 3. Again, the numbers are getting smaller, and I'll see if what I tried here works over here. If I divide 9 by 3, will I get 3 as an answer? Yes, I will. So divide by 3. So if I divided the first number by 3 to get the second number, and divided the second number by 3 to get the third number, what do you think I have to do to the third number to get this fourth number? It's a pattern, so I have to divide by 3. What is 3 divided by 3? 1. So the next number in this pattern is 1. Now, once you figure out what the last number is in the pattern, okay? Once you figure out what the last number is, and let me see if I can write that a little neater, it's 1. Then you have to write a rule that goes with this. So the rule for this, the rule is start at 27, start at 27, comma, then divide by 3. That's the rule. For a rule, you always have to put what number to start at. Otherwise, I could pick whatever number I want to start with. So you have to start at 27, then the operation is divide by 3. And then it would give you the next number in your pattern, which would be the number 1. All right, so what if I give you a different example? You're still going to find what number comes next in the pattern, and you're going to write the rule. So let's say we were given this time 1, 2, 4, 8, blank. Okay, so what do I have to do to 1 to get it to be a 2? Well, it's getting bigger, so I can maybe add, or I could do repeated addition, which would be multiplication. So if I added something to 1 to get 2, what would that something be? Okay, so it can either be plus 1. But then when you go from 2 to 4, does plus 1 work? No, because plus 1 to 2 would be 3, and the next number is 4. So sometimes there's more than one number to start you off. And if it has to work every single time, or it's not a rule and it's not part of the pattern. So what else could we do to 1 to get it to be a 2? We could times by 2. Now we'll see if that works to go from 2 to 4. If I times 2 by 2, will I get 4? Yeah. If I times 4 by 2, will I get 8? So what do you think I have to do for 8? I have to times it by 2. And what is 8 times 2? 16. So let's write our rule. Okay? Our rule is start at 1, comma, then times 2. Then times by 2. That's your rule. Now, so far, the first 2 examples that we did, there was only one operation in the pattern. But sometimes there's going to be more than one operation in a pattern. So what if you were given, let's say, you were given 2, 6, 3, 9, 2, 6, 3, 9, blank. Okay, this one's a little trickier. What do I have to do to a 2 to get it to be a 6? It's going from smaller to bigger, so that means it's either multiplication or adding. So if I add something to 2 to get 6, I would have to add 4. Okay? But that doesn't quite work, does it? Because then the next thing I would have to do is I'm going to get from 4 to 3, and I have to either multiply or divide or subtract. So I could do, I guess, minus 3. And if to get from here to here, but then how do I get from here to here? I have to either go back to plus 4, and if I add 4, so that's not going to work because adding 4 to 3 is only going to give us 7. So that didn't work. So maybe I should try multiplying then. So what do I multiply 2 by to get 6? 3. What do I do to 6 to get 3? I times 3 by 3 here. What do I do to 6 to get 3? I minus 3? You could minus 3. Plus 3 minus 3? You could. Then what do I do to 3 to get 9? I have to go back here. Do I times by 3? Yeah, I times by 3. So if it's times 3, minus 3, times 3, what's next in the pattern? Minus 3. And what is 9 minus 3? 6. So our next number in the pattern is 6. So let's write a rule. Our rule is start at 2, comma, then times 3, minus 3, times 3, comma, minus 3. So your rule for this one's a little longer. You start at 2, because you always have to tell us where to start at. Start at 2, then times 3, minus 3, times 3, minus 3. That's our pattern. Okay, you're set now. Try the textbook problems and the workbook problems. Talk to you tomorrow.